Good morning, watch fans. Today on the Big Wrist, we are going to try and refurbish, replace a battery, and kind of clean up a very old watch. This is a 30-year-old fossil I got after my G-Shock strap broke, and I was wearing it when my house burned to the ground back in '97. So it was the only watch I had after that, and I really cherish this watch. It's not much of a watch, but I really cherish it. It's a fossil, it's old, so there's the joke right there in itself. As you can tell, it is running because getting the back off this thing and getting the plastic holder out of place and everything was very difficult to do. I couldn't have done it on camera. So I did everything. I did all the prep work, basically did all the work. Got the back off, really difficult, 30-year-old back, maybe, yeah, 30 years old. Probably bought this watch in 91 or 92. Watch it has never been apart before, so that was hard to get off. This is the tool I used. Wow, this tool's a piece of junk. Chinese tool, but it worked. Had to get the spacer out, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. You can get a little bit more, a little better look at this. So the spacer just kind of pops out, and then the battery, as you can see, the battery just sits in there underneath that this little lever right there on the one side. It holds it down. And it's a really simple quartz battery watch. It's nothing special. I went on eBay last year before last, and I bought a bag of batteries. And I mean a bag. I'll show it to you in a minute. Crazy bag of batteries for $20 odd, 25 bucks delivered. And I would say 20% of the batteries were dead on arrival, but there's probably 35 or 40 kinds of batteries in that bag, making it really useful for a guy who's got so many watches. And I'm not a watch snob, really. I prefer automatics, but the quartz serve a purpose, And if you're going to have quartz watches in your arsenal, you really got to learn to change your own batteries, because 20 bucks a pop for a good watchmaker to change a battery can get old really quick when you have a lot of watches to change out. So you put the little thing back in, you make sure it's all lined up. That part goes over the battery, this part lines up with the stem, and you gotta, I'm not gonna grease the seal. The seal's really in there, and I have the silicone grease. The seal is stuck to the case, not the case back. So I am not going to pry it out because I know what's going to happen. It's going to dissolve. This watch doesn't get wet anyways. So you put this on hand tight. You line up your little doohickeys. It's hard to see, but you line up your little holes with there's like 3 holes. There's 3 spines on this, and there's 6 on this, and you basically line up 3 on 3. Press gently, or it'll scratch the daylights out of it. One of my watches has a really bad scratch on it from someone doing this wrong, but I got it at a good price because of it. So you just give it a nice press gently, and you turn it until it won't turn anymore, and don't force it, because then it will slip and it'll either scratch the watch or cut your arm. Right there, it's about 25 pounds, maybe 30 pounds of pressure. So, and you pull out the stem. It'll probably hack. Yeah, there it is. Today is what day is today anyways? Anybody know what time it is? I think today's the 29th, and I think it's about 5 minutes after 7. I don't have what's my cell phone say? It's in camera mode. It doesn't show it. I'm using some software to film this, so it gives me full manual control. But anyways, I think I'm pretty close. It's going to be right there. So, and then it goes. I was hoping to put a new band on it. The band fits. I mean, it is for the Big Wrist. The reason I bought it, because it was such a big, these little tiny little 14 millimeter, 15 millimeter pins, put it back in like that. And, that's how it wears. Hey folks, this is Big Jim. This is the next day. I wore this yesterday, almost the whole day, on this strap, and these holes are so worn, the watch just kind of rattled around, and I'd actually act like it was going to break off. I don't think it's going to break off. He's pretty good leather, and the stitching's in good shape, but it rattled a ton. And I noticed it didn't have a keeper. So, while I was dyeing this yesterday with polish, before I put the keeper on it, I was dyeing it with the black or the dark brown shoe polish, and I had a shoe polish disaster. It made a mess. Thank God it didn't get on the carpet. It only got on my work surface and on the watch band. But it covered 50% of the watch instead of just trying to do a little test to see what it looked like right there. I ended up getting all over the place, so I just had to finish it up and did it off camera. So we got the mess cleaned up. But I still wore it, and you can see how worn this is, all cracked and stuff. Really in bad shape. So, last night I broke out one of my old watch bands. This is a Barton. This is a Barton quick release, actually. Yeah, here it is, Barton. My absolute favorite aftermarket band, Barton quick release. Just love them. They're all quick release. It's just called Barton. Anyways, so what I did was I laid out a template. You can see what I did. I laid out a template on the band. Used this old Swiss Army knife. This is about an 84 or 85 in Alaska when I was up there. Great pocket knife, crazy sharp. Everyone who's ever had a Swiss Army knife will tell you the fact is the small blade isn't as sharp as one by a long shot. So this thing is crazy sharp, easily razor blade sharp. So anyways, I used that to trim this up. You can see how close I got it. I got it really good. I did a really good job, I think, for costing me $0. I made it a little tighter than this because these were really loose. These were really shaking around in there. So I made it a little tighter than it was, and looks really nice. I wore it all day yesterday. It turns out that the keeper I took off of here was one that came off of this, because this band is a long band from Barton. Barton makes long and traditional size bands. This is one of their long ones, but even long, it goes on like the 4th or 5th. I think it goes on the 4th one, and it doesn't even need the extra keeper. It fits so perfectly, so it's fine. But I was going to show you guys my bag of batteries I got for $20 or $25. This is the bag. Guy on eBay basically was selling. I put in watch batteries on eBay, and this is one of the sellers, and he was selling 200 batteries in a bag for $25. A variety of 30 or 40 kinds of batteries. He listed them all, and there was a couple I needed, like the CR25s, and some of the more common ones. There's a couple of big flat ones in here that are really super common. There's one right there. The CR32 is a really super common battery for scales and some magnified optics for pew-pews, those kind of things. So, it was a fairly good buy 2.5 years ago, and I probably used 15 batteries out of here and had 4 or 5 that were dead. So right at 20% that are dead. And I have a little cheapy battery tester. I can test each one, and I can't test them in the package. I gotta pull them out. So I test them before I use them. And like I said, for the price, man, if I had paid $15 or $20 for 15 changes, I'd be in the $300 range. So this is a great investment. You can get a bag of tools, on eBay or Amazon for $15 and buy this, and you've got every battery you ever need for a watch. So, and this is the other bag I keep. This is where all the bands go that I don't kill off, and I use. You can see some of them are missing. They're missing hardware. A couple of these are missing hardware because if I need something, if I need a buckle or I need a tongue or I need a keeper, I will simply rip it off of one of these. And some of these are nice. I mean, this is a Tudor. This is an OEM Tudor that I've left alone pretty much. That's an OEM Tudor band. And there's another OEM Tudor band in there also, but I've taken it apart. And that's what I used all the buckle and stuff on my on one of my Tudors. So it's an aftermarket Everest band. So, this is just what most of you guys will do eventually when you have enough watches. You'll just end up with a bag of spares, a big giant bag of spares. And I have a tool chest, a fishing box actually, that I've turned into a tool chest for watches. And so anyways, this has been Jim on the Big Wrist, and I want to do a quick update. I had to add this on there because I just felt like the band wasn't going to do it. So the real update for the finished product on this watch is this. Looks a lot better. It fits like a dream on the Big Wrist. If I can get this sucker on there without having to kill myself. I even found a gold buckle. Look at that. I even found a gold buckle for this thing. I couldn't believe it. So I think it's on the 5th hole. Look at that. No issues at all. I wore this from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. I even slept with it on. I forgot it was on. Super lightweight. Got to weigh 60, 65 grams maybe on the strap. Fits beautifully. So, you know, don't be afraid to get in there and take an old band and cut it up and get yourself a sharp knife. If you have a weird connector like this, just take an effort. You know, this is a band that wasn't doing me any good. It's just sitting in a drawer. I wish it didn't have alligator, but that's fine. Again, I'm not going to spend any money on. This is the 30-year-old watch. So I have the original band. You know, that's just seen better days. This is probably not savable, and I'll throw it in a drawer. Maybe one day I'll take that keeper off again. I didn't want to use the buckle off of this Fossil, even though it's a marked Fossil buckle. I really wanted an actual buckle that matched. And while this buckle does, it is too wide for the band. You see that? It is. I don't know if you can't really see it, but it is slightly too wide. This would need, I'd have to bend it in. So I just said heck with it. This one fit right out the drawer. Right out of the drawer it fit. So I use that buckle. And it matches color-wise. So anyways, this is Jim on the Big Wrist. Hope you enjoyed my quick video update. And you have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and tell a friend.